Good morning. There are few better places to help chart a prosperous future for the region than where all of you are sitting today. Obviously a place with such an incredibly rich history. Many of you were there with me last spring when we brought the public and private sector together in order to discuss the Palestinian Economic Initiative. I want you to know we have been working hard ever since to forge a political solution, a two-state solution that will support the security and the prosperity of both the Israelis and Palestinians, as well as your important efforts across the region. And I want to thank Myron Brilliant and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce for bringing such a dynamic, experienced, capable group of leaders together, including also some of our finest diplomats. Ann Patterson and David Thorne are two of our best who are focused on these issues in the State Department today, and I know you're going to enjoy the opportunity to chat with them. And while we hope that Charlie Rifkin is going to be confirmed very soon as our Assistant Secretary of State for Economic and Business Affairs, he is working as hard as ever to create opportunities and shared prosperity around the world. You know, it's no secret that an economically integrated Middle East will be a more prosperous Middle East. And that will create greater security in and of itself, as well as prosperity for everybody. That's the core belief that's behind the vital efforts of the Middle East Commercial Center and your important work over these next 2 days. We've all seen the links between the Middle East and the global markets as they grow stronger. Just think of Turkish Airlines or Emirates Airlines or Teva Pharmaceuticals. But at the same time, we've seen a persistent lack of trade between economies within the region. When limits to opportunity in one part of the world limit the security and prosperity of all of us, then that's something that we all have a stake in solving. We need to start by being clear-eyed about the challenge that we face. The World Bank reports that the Middle East has the lowest share of intra-regional non-oil trade in the world, just 5%. Across the Maghreb, the lack of more integrated markets costs 2 to 3% of GDP growth each year. Talk to any business owner in Aqaba or Alexandria, or the firms from Atlanta to Antwerp who want to invest in the Middle East, and they will tell you trade and political obstacles are painfully common in the region. Too many barriers exist for businesses who want to work with their most logical partners, their neighbors. And when countries don't trade with their neighbors, their citizens then compete with one hand tied behind their backs. And when energetic young people are kept from opportunities and good jobs, guess what? That creates a vacuum for extremists and ideologues to exploit. And we've seen it again and again. We can't afford to let that happen, especially when we've seen just how eager this generation is to contribute. You know, just think about the Arab awakening and the cohort of hyper-connected young people who led the way. We remember Mohamed Bouazizi for igniting a revolution in Tunisia, yes, but before he was a revolutionary, he was a businessman who just wanted freedom from government harassment. And we remember the youth who streamed into Tahrir Square 3 years ago. They weren't motivated by ideology. They were motivated by a shared desire for opportunity, for education and jobs, for the chance to write their own ticket to a better future. And we remember how they used social media to organize and capture the world's attention. Just think of how many companies across the world are looking for that kind of ability to harness technology. So think about the possibilities if these young people were more free to exchange ideas, to produce and to innovate across borders in the region. For these young people to be innovators, all of us need to be integrators. And that's why we need each of you. There is no better place to start than right where you're sitting now. Every kind of institution, public, private, and multinational, is represented in the room you're in now. and every single one of you is critical to deepening the commercial ties that bring nations together and make the work of diplomacy possible. Not one of the political solutions that we're working so hard to achieve will endure without greater economic exchange and opportunity. And that's why I have charged every Foreign Service officer to be an economic officer and a powerful advocate for our commercial interests and a lasting prosperity shared by the United States and its partners. That's why we're teaming up with our colleagues at Commerce, OPIC, USAID, USTR, and the Exim Bank. And that's why we are committed to teaming up with you. And believe me, you can count on the support of the United States at every level in this initiative. By breaking down barriers to trade and talent, we can build bridges to opportunity for all of our citizens. That's why your work together, not just during these 2 days in Jordan, but for years to come, is so vital for our shared prosperity. Thank you for all that you're doing, and I look forward to shaping greater prosperity and opportunity with you in the days to come. Thanks.